Good morning, everyone. It's Kristen from the Creative Space Designs, and this is our weekly live, or I try to go weekly. So if you're new to my page, I try to go weekly if I can, to talk about a topic or answer questions about what's working for me in my paint party business. So today I wanted to talk about a topic that we could probably talk about every single time, and that's how to get signups for our paint parties, or in other words, how to get butts in seats into an event that we have booked with a venue. So thanks for watching, and if you're new to my page, or even if you're not new to my page but you're watching, just say hi so I know you're watching. And if you have any comments, and please let me know where you're watching from, because I always find that interesting. I am in West Greenwich, Rhode Island, and sometimes with this online world, you think like people are right near you, but they're really not. So I love to know where people are watching from. So we're going to talk about a topic that is very relevant, and it could be a million answers. So I'm going to talk about what works for me, how to get people to sign up for your paint parties. So the first thing I wanted to start with was, maybe you're just starting out in your paint party business and you don't have any emails yet, because emails are the thing you need to get in order to quickly fill up your events. But at first you don't have any emails. So when I did my first paint party 4 years ago, I had no emails. So what did I do? I want to talk about what you do at that point, and then how to get emails, and then what to do when you have emails. So let's say this is your first event, you don't have any emails, but you've secured a venue, and so now you're going to start advertising for your event. So the first thing I do, or the first thing I did when that happened to me, was I created an event post on Facebook. So I don't know if you know about Canva, canva.com, but it is a free app. They also have a website, so you can use your computer. And it's a graphic design app. So they have so many free things. You can get a paid version, but I did not get a paid version for like 3 years. I just used their free one. They have so many options and so many things you can do to make different designs and different graphics for putting on your Facebook page or your Instagram, or using to make flyers. So I went on Canva with the design that I was going to be painting, and I created a little graphic that talked about where the event was going to be, when the event was going to be, so like the date, the time, the venue, and if you can get a logo for the venue, which you can probably easily do pulling one offline, but you can also ask your venue if they have a digital logo that they can share with you so that you can put it in your graphic. It's just good for them too, because it's good advertising for them, because you're saying, I'm going to this place. So I put a heading like paint party at Black Oak in Coventry, and then I'll say Monday, March 11th from 6 to 8:30 p.m. I have the graphic of the logo, and then I have a picture of what we'll be painting with the price. And then I always include must prepay, because that's how I do it. People have to prepay. I don't take walk-ins. But I think when you say must prepay and you kind of consistently do that, it does help in the long run to generate business, because people know they have to sign up. And it's always good to have people pay ahead of time, because if people pay, they're going to come. If people say, oh, I'll pay when I get there, they might come, they might not, because they haven't paid, so they're not vested in it. So definitely do prepays, that's important. So after I create the graphic, then I create the event post on Facebook. And if you're not sure how to do that, you can go on YouTube and Google how to create an event post on Facebook, and there's lots of videos out there for you to learn how to do that. So I create the event post saying all the information that needs to be said, and I include in the description some PayPal buttons, PayPal links for the payment because I use PayPal. But I also say, or email me at Kristen@thecreativespaceartstudio.com, because that way if someone's struggling with the link, you don't want them to just give up. You want to make it as easy for them as possible. So if people know how to use Facebook event posts, then they know, look in the description, and if they see the link, they can click on it and they can purchase. But if they're afraid to do that, or if they're struggling to do that, right underneath it, I say, or email me at, and tell them my email right there. So they don't have to find my email. It's right there. And if they're worried about using the link, or they want to use Venmo or another way to pay, then they can email me and then I can speak with them directly about that. So I find that to be useful information because that has happened to me before. People will see the link and they'll say, oh, I don't have PayPal. And they don't realize that you can actually pay the PayPal links with any credit card. But still, I don't want it to be a problem for them. So if I put email me, then they know I'm happy to help, and then I can help them out. So that's important. I think that's important. Another thing I do in the Facebook event post is I add a co-host if I can. So if I'm doing a paint party at a local restaurant, let's say Black Oak is the name of a restaurant that I do all the time, and they have a very good Facebook following and they are active on their page. So I will put them in the co-host part. Now they have to accept that. I can't just start advertising them as a co-host until they have accepted it. But at this point, they know I'm going to do that. So they will accept it, and then they can share it on their post. And that's super helpful. If you can add the co-host, I do that. Now, if it's a private party, this is different. I'm talking about how do you get signups for a public event. For a private party, it's on the host of the party to get people to sign up. I give her a link that people can pay, or they can email me and we'll figure out the payment, but it's on them to get the people. This is for a public event where you're trying to advertise and you are trying to get people that you might not know to come to this event. So adding the co-host is really important. And then once I've created the event post on Facebook, I share the link of the post with the venue. So then it's very easy for the venue to help me advertise, to share, because I've given them everything. All they have to do is, here, share this link on your page. They don't have to make a graphic. They don't have to say what it's all about. It's all there. I've done the work, and they can just take that link and share it. And if they want to add a little something like, hey, this is the paint party this month, or whatever they want to say, that's fine, but they don't have to. They can just share the link. So I think that's really important. Now, I don't do this very often anymore because I have a really good email list and a good following and a lot of repeat customers. But at the beginning, when I didn't have that, I would also create a flyer in Canva. So in Canva, you can create graphics that can go, they're the right proportion for Instagram posts, they're the right proportion for Facebook, but you can also create a flyer. So I would do that. I wouldn't try to reinvent the design. I'd pretty much take the design I had already made and copy and paste it. And you do have to kind of spread it out a little bit because the flyers are bigger than the Instagram and the Facebook posts. But I'm using the same look, like whatever I've chosen, I'm not redoing it. I'm using that and putting that in the flyer. And then add a QR code. And again, if you're not sure how to add a QR code, there's so many videos on YouTube of how to do it. You can add a QR code through Canva, or you can use a QR code generator separate and then just upload it to Canva, but Canva has a QR code maker now, which is really helpful because it's right there. So what you do to make a QR code is you take your payment link. So I would take the code for the PayPal link and put it in the QR code generator, and it will create the little QR code that is just for that link. So we all kind of know what QR codes now that we've been through COVID and we've had to deal with contactless payments and things like that. So I put the QR code in the flyer that I'm going to be printing up to take to the venue. And it's very clear at the bottom, scan here to purchase. And if I have two things that I'm advertising, I'll have two QR codes. So I'll talk about Painter's Choice in a second, but I wanted to just kind of talk about adding a QR code to your flyer. Now, I'm seeing who's jumping on to watch. Athena. Hi, Athena. Thanks for watching. If you're new to my page, please say where you're watching from. I love to know where people are watching from. And the replay will be available for this when I'm done. So if you missed the beginning, you can go back and watch it. I'm talking about how to get people to sign up for your paint party events. So the flyer idea, good morning. The flyer idea I used a lot when I was first starting out and I didn't have a great email list. So I create the flyer in Canva. Oh, from Arizona. Thanks for watching. I'm in Rhode Island, all the way on the other side. It's a little chilly here. And putting the QR code right on the flyer, again, makes it easy for your customer. You want to make things as easy as possible because, hi Andrea, thanks for watching. Because people, we're all like this. It's human nature. We want things that they're just gonna happen. I don't want to have to think about it. So I would print up the flyer. So let me kind of like revamp a little bit. I know I'm kind of going off on a tangent about QR codes, but I'm talking about making a flyer that you can take to your venue. So I would make a flyer, put the QR codes. I have no idea about a QR code. Oh, so I don't use them that much anymore, Angela, but at the beginning, I definitely used to a lot. QR codes are just those things that you scan with your phone. From West Virginia, thanks for telling me where you're watching from. You scan with your phone and it will like connect you to something. So I don't put QR codes in my Facebook event posts because there's no need to do it. You can just put your payment link. So I use PayPal. So they just have to click on the payment link and it goes to where you got to go. But QR codes are good if you're going to be printing out a hard copy of something to bring to your venue that they can post. And at the beginning, I did this, and they would post it at the front door. They may post it in the bathroom. They may post it outside the bathroom, wherever they had a bulletin board or something. So you make the flyer pretty, just like you would for your, is it Katrina? Hi, Katrina from Indiana. Yes, thank you for joining my membership. I hope you're gonna love it. I'm always available to ask questions if you need it in the group, so just let me know. So the QR code is just that little square with that you scan. So let's say you're at the restaurant that I'm promoting for, and you walk out of the bathroom and you see this beautiful flyer with this pretty design, and you're like, wow, they're doing a paint party. I wonder how I can sign up. And then there's a QR code with an arrow that says sign up here. Well, it's a no-brainer, right? Like, oh, okay, I'm gonna take my phone and I'm gonna scan that QR code, and that will pop them right to the payment link. Now, if they just go, ooh, I didn't mean to do that, they can just close it, but it's easy, right? It's there. So when I first started out doing paint parties and I had 0 emails, I would do flyers for my new venues, and I would include QR codes to make it easy for the person who's thinking about coming. And I would take it to Staples. So Staples is great. You can just email them the file for your flyer and say, please print 4 copies of this. And and they will, and you go pick it up, and it's a few dollars, but it's well worth it because it's your first advertising. And then I would just drop it off at the venue and say, hey, can you post this in a few places throughout where you think people are going to look at it? And I really did get some, that was helpful. At the beginning, that was very helpful. Now I don't use flyers anymore because it's just one extra step that I don't need to do anymore because I have a good email list. But at the beginning, I definitely used flyers, and I think that helped me to get people to sign up for my events. So I'm kind of like breaking up this conversation in two parts. One is, what do you do when you're first starting out and you don't have a good email list yet? And then what do you do with your email list? So I'm at the beginning right now. Do I make them in PayPal? A QR code? So no. You make your links in PayPal, so PayPal buttons, and you can, so if you go to PayPal buttons, Google PayPal buttons, and then you have to have a PayPal account, and then you sign in, and it kind of walks you through. And I am a big proponent of what I call YouTube School. YouTube School, you can learn anything on YouTube School. So if you're not sure what to do, just go to Google, go to YouTube and say how to create a PayPal button, and there'll be a video. But I make my links, my payment links in PayPal. And then there's also QR code generators online. You can just Google QR code generator, or if you use Canva to make your graphics, Canva now has a QR code generator. So again, you can do that. And then what you do, say you go to the QR code generator, just Google QR code generator and find a free one. You take your payment link and you paste it where they tell you to paste it, and then you say generate QR code and then download it, and it will download the code to your computer. That's like a little graphic, and then you can add it where you want to add it, copy and paste it. So I did that at the beginning, and now I just use the Canva one if I need it. But most of the time I don't do the flyers anymore. Thanks for watching, Piper. How are you? Okay, so I can try to talk more about QR codes in a bit, but if you have any more questions about that, let me know and I'll try my best to answer them. But how I learned about them was YouTube School. I just Googled how to create a QR code, and there's a whole bunch of videos that tell you how to do it. So I am a huge proponent of YouTube School. I teach pottery in my day job. I'm a ceramics teacher at a high school, and I learned so many ceramic tips on YouTube School too, so you can learn anything. Okay, so you've created your event post, you've added your co-host to the event post, you've shared your event post link with your co-host so that they can share. Oh, you're welcome, Angela. So that they can share on their social media. You've created a flyer with a QR code, and you bring it to your venue so they can post it and hopefully get some signups that way. I also take my event post and I share it on other places on Facebook that I can share to. So I looked for local pages. So I live in a town called West Greenwich, and there is a Town of West Greenwich Facebook page, and they allow you to post things in there about events that you're doing. Some pages won't allow you to advertise, and some will. So you have to kind of go by the requirements of the page. So once you find a page and you join it, and they allow you to join it, then you can post. So in the Town of West Greenwich Facebook page, I will copy and paste my event post link, and it will pop up. And then I might add a little something like message me for more details or to reserve your spot. So I find different local groups. There's another group I post in. It's called Rhode Island Mommy Business. So obviously that's a business page for women. So I can post in there. So you find pages that you can post to, and I just kind of kept searching until I found pages. Lots of towns have local happenings pages. There's so I live in Rhode Island, so there's also a state page. It's called Rhode Island Events, and they let you post your events in there. So I also post in there a lot. There is an app called the Nextdoor app. It's kind of like a neighborhood page, and you can post things in there. I don't post the link to my event post. I just take the graphic, so just the picture, and post that, and then I just write a few things like painting this really sweet spring painting at Black Oak in Coventry. Message me if you're interested. So you don't want it to be too, in those other, like in the Nextdoor app, and another page I'm going to talk about is buy, sell, trade pages. In those kinds of pages, they don't really want you to post links. So you can post a picture, and then you can say a few things about it and say, message me for details. And that's allowable for most of the time, but most of the time in buy, sell, trade pages and in the Nextdoor app, it's not really advisable to try to put a link in there. It's more, here's a picture of something I'm doing and message me. But it's just a way to kind of get more people looking at what you're doing. You could even say, like on the Nextdoor app, I might say like, oh, please follow my Facebook page, The Creative Space, to find out more. And then you get people following your page. So the more people you can get following your page, the better. Let's see. And then I just said, I have a list of things I want to talk about. I always write it down before I come on, because otherwise I start to go off on a tangent. And then I always say, post on your Facebook page every day. If you have an event, so I have a new event, I want to advertise it. First, I'm going to make the event post, and that's going to be a post on my page. And then maybe the next day, I might remind people about it. And so instead of sharing the link to the event post, I might just put a picture of what I'm doing or going to be painting, and then say something about it. And so I might say like, come paint this sweet spring design with me at Monday, March 11th at Black Oak. And you can tag the restaurant, and that way they know that you have made a post, because they'll get the notification that you tagged them, and then they can reshare that post for you. So if you have a good relationship with the venue, that's what I do. I'll say, I'll tag them. Anytime I post about their event, I'll tag them, and they'll share it. Or they might not share it every time, but they'll share it a lot of the times. So I'll post on my page. I'll also post in the event post. So once you've made the event post, there's a discussion section, and you can just click discussion, and then each day you can create a post in there. Hey, don't forget to sign up. And especially if you're starting to sell tickets, I always do like a countdown, like 10 spots left, seating's limited, that kind of thing. That usually gets people going. You want to create a sense of urgency for people to sign up for your event. Whew, that was a lot. Okay, so hopefully that was helpful information. That is kind of the basics of what I did at the beginning when I did not have an email list. But the next thing I want to talk about is the importance of getting emails. Sorry, I'm just really thirsty. Because Facebook is great. Facebook's amazing. And it's free. And, you know, it's a perfect way to reach people. But it's not yours. Your email list is yours. So let's say Facebook went down and you couldn't use it for whatever reason. You still have your email list. So you still have a way to contact people who have come to your event or who are interested in your event. So on your Facebook page, you want to create a following. And just some basic ways to create a following is post every day. I can see new people coming on. Make sure you say hello and where you're watching from. I love to know where people are watching from, because I'm in the teeny weeniest little state in the country. way up in New England, and I love to know where people are watching from. What was I saying? Something about emails. Okay, I'll go back to I'll go back and remind myself of what I was saying. Emails. Wow, it just went right out of my head. How do you get emails? Oh, I know what I was saying. See? I'm sorry. I'm so crazy. Okay. So yes, thank you. Thank you, Athena. You're paying attention. How do you create a following? Oh my goodness. Okay. Post all the time, but post different things and post things that are interesting. So you might just post a little fun thing like, oh my gosh, it's Monday. Like, hope everybody's having a good Monday. And I always like this little saying that like, everything's better with glitter. Sprinkle a little glitter in your day and it'll get better. Like, so I post like funny things like that, but I'll also post about my events. When I'm painting the sample for the event, because you're gonna need a sample, right? Do a time-lapse video. And then you can take that time-lapse video and use it as a post because it's interesting to watch. You can use it in a reel. You can use it so many ways. You can use it in your event post. So one of the posts inside of your event post can be that time-lapse video. And it's fun to watch and it gets people excited about what it is that you're doing. Sometimes I go live and talk about things on I have 2 pages. This is my page for my paint party designs and talking about having a paint party business. But on my other page where it's all about my in-person, I'll just remember my audience, like who am I talking to? So sometimes I'll go on and do a quick little tutorial about something. Like I might go on later, maybe Monday, and do like a cute little watercolor heart, something or other, just something kind of fun. So you're creating a following. And then I also will say to my following, hey, if you're interested in being on my email list for my paint parties, DM me. And I've gotten emails that way because people see what you're doing and then they want to know, hey, how can I know more? So I do that. I do have a website. It's not the best. It's okay. It serves its purpose. I want to revamp it. But I do have a website, so it does have some information. And I might say, hey, check out my website, and then it'll have more information about the different things I do. So on your page, when you start to get a following, just remind people of ways that they can find out what you're doing. And if they're people who are interested in your in-person events, they might want to be on your email list. Another thing I do for people that are interested in my in-person events, and I found this to be very helpful, is I created a private group. There's no special requirements for it. It's free, but it's a private group where I advertise first. So the idea behind the private group is if you want to be the first to know when I have a new event, join this private group. And so I might advertise about that idea on my Facebook page. Hey, are you interested in knowing when I'm going to be posting a new event? Join this private group. And then I have about almost 700 people in the private group now. And I will post there first. So when I have a new event, I will post it there first. And then I will post it on my main page in a couple of days later. So that's a nice little way of getting some more people in a very focused group that are interested in what you're doing. So that's a way. Another way that I get emails is when people come to the event. So it's not ethical to just take their email and put it on your email list. So like, for example, you're gonna get their email if they sign up for an event through PayPal because they have to use their email. It's not ethical to just take that and put it on your email list. But when they come to the event, you can say, hey, who's interested in being on my email list? And that's how you can get the emails. I also do a door prize survey, which is really the way that I get emails, but I also get really great feedback through the door prize surveys, and then I get to give out prizes and stuff, which always makes it kind of fun. So I'll get like little things that I think are kind of cute. I'll go to the dollar store or to Walmart or to Target, and I'll find little knick-knacky things, or sometimes I'll get like thank you cards or stuff like that. And at Christmas time, I get lots of little ornaments, and I'll give away the ornaments. But it's a fun way to do the door prizes and to get the emails. So I have this little survey. So if anybody's interested in knowing what my little survey is, you can DM me after, and I'm happy to send it to you. It's nothing fancy, but it's just what I use. And it just says, what's your name? What's your email? Do you want to be on my email list? Check here. And then it says, were the instructions clear? Like, would you come to another Creative Space event? What feedback do you have for me? And then do you know of a venue that might be interested in hosting a painting event? And I actually have gotten some great venues through suggestions of people that have come to my events. So I like that question. I don't always use them, and they don't always pan out, but I have gotten several venues that are now part of my like go-tos. When my schedule's looking light, I'll contact them and put them on the list, and they'll put them on the calendar, I mean. So we got the little surveys on the tables, and about halfway through, or a little bit more than halfway through, we remind people, hey, fill out those surveys. We're going to collect them to draw the door prizes, because that's my little raffle tickets. So we do that, and that's kind of fun. And then I have all of those surveys with people's emails on them. And then when I get home later, I'll go through them, and the ones that want to be on my list, I'll add them to my list. So what is this list? Okay, so when I first started out, I used Gmail, just straight up Gmail, and you can add people to your contacts. And that's how I started to create my list. But after a while, when you get a lot of people on your list, it's really not good to have it through Gmail, because you can't really batch email. Like right now, I have about 1,500 people on my email list. Well, I cannot send a Gmail to 1,500 people all at once. It won't let you do it. So what I did at first was I would send out 100 at a time. Well, then at some point, I'm sending out like 6 emails in a row, 100 people at a time. It was tedious. So it became beneficial to get an email service provider. So I use MailerLite, and you have to pay for it. They do have a free version until you get like, I think 1,000 emails or something like that. And then after you have 1,000 emails, you have to pay. But still, it's a great place to start. And there's other ones besides MailerLite. That's just the one that I use. But now I can batch email. I can send everybody on my email list all at once. And I do that. So now I have several painting events in a month, and I will email my people once every other week or so to remind them of new things coming up. But if something's really selling out, or I have a few spots left that I want to sell, I might go off cycle and email them once a week. So anyway, I know I'm talking about a lot of things. So if anybody has any questions, please, please, please let me know. I hope this is helpful information. But let's say, again, you're at the beginning and you are now starting to collect emails, and maybe you only have 1 or 2 events in a month. You're not going to want to email them. Well, you have only so much to say, I guess is what I'm saying. Like right now, I can email my list every week and say, here are the 5 or 6 events coming up, and here's what's left. But if I only have 1, I'm only talking about that one thing. So I still would email though. So I have an event 4 weeks out. That's when I start advertising. Sometimes sooner, depending what it is. But at least 4 weeks out is when I start advertising. Save the date. This fun event is coming up. Say something kind of cute about it. Put a picture in there if you can, and send it out. And then 3 weeks out, send another email. Don't forget this event, and especially if you're selling some tickets, you can say 12 spots left or whatever you want to say. And then 2 weeks out, and then 1 week out, last chance to buy tickets. So you want to kind of be consistent with that. Now, what I try to do with my emails is I will try to advertise 1 week and then do something kind of fun the second week. If I'm advertising, if I'm sending emails every week, I'll do an advertising kind of email 1 week. And then the second week, I'll do something fun. Like if I did a live, I might just email like, hey, did you see my live? Here's the link for it. That's the other thing about email service providers is you can connect links to them, which I think is kind of super fun because you could just put the link and then if they want to watch the video, they click the link and boom, it goes right to the video. They don't have to go to your Facebook page and scroll through and find it. It's just right there. So it's kind of cool. Let's see. So that's kind of what I had to say about emails. It's a process. I didn't have 1,500 emails 4 years ago. I had no emails 4 years ago. And it just is a process, but it's a good process because it's really helpful. Because now I have a following that wants to come to my events. They don't want to come to every one of my events, but they want to know what I'm doing. And if they don't want to know anymore, they can unsubscribe, and that's fine. You have to be okay with that. But I have that good following of my email list, and I have that good following in that private group. These are people that want to know when my events are. So that's a really good pool to draw from for getting customers to come to your event. Couple of other little things I wrote down. Make sure to update how many spots are left on Facebook. So that's another post I'll do. So this morning, I just did a post where I only had 2 spots left to come to an event. And so I said 2 spots left to this event. And, so that people want to know that, especially if they're thinking about coming, but they just hadn't pulled the trigger yet. And then, you say something like that, it just kind of sparks it. So it creates that sense of urgency. And also post when something is sold out, because that's just good advertising. So you can go back on Canva and you can take your graphic that you made and you can add to it and you can make a sold out banner going across it. And then go back and edit your Facebook group and put the new picture there. And then go back to the description and say, this event is sold out. Thank you so much. And then you can use that sold out graphic to post throughout the week if you like. Here's a little thing that I have discovered, which is super annoying, but you just have to deal with it. Bots on Facebook. They're everywhere. And for some reason, sold out is a trigger. So as soon as I mark something sold out, they're bots, start commenting, I'm desperately trying to get rid of 4 tickets. And then you have to go, no, you're not. And you block that person, hide that comment. I have notifications on my phone whenever someone posts on my page. It can be somewhat disruptive, but you can ignore it if you want. But that's how I always catch those bots right away, because I have a notification. So if someone posts on my page or in my event, I'll get notified and I look at it and I go, nope, you don't have any tickets that you're selling, and I block it. I think it's just a hazard of the trade, but posting that your event is sold out is a good thing. It's just good advertising. It shows people that, hey, this is something fun that people want to go to. I better pay attention next time so I don't miss out. So then I'll say that. I'll say, hey, did you miss out on this event? Do you want to be on my email list? And kind of like generate business that way. As your email list grows, your events will fill faster. That's just the facts. So, but it's a process. Like I said, it's a process to get that email list to grow. Here is one other thing that I wrote down that I wanted to make sure to mention to you. And I don't think I would do this at the beginning. That's just me though. Like again, this is what has worked for me. There's so many ways to do things, but this is what has worked for me. Painter's choice. Now, I don't know if you've ever tried that. It's basically giving people two options of what they can paint. Because when people have options, they like that. And like, not everybody wants to paint a canvas. So in an event that I just sold out this morning, I have two options. It's the same design, but one's a canvas and one's a woodcut. And they're not the same prices, but that's okay. That's person's choice. It's also gives people choices for the price point price point conscious customer. It gives them choices. And I think that has also helped to sell out my events. Every now and then I'll do two different designs, but it gets a little hairy. I don't love doing that. I really like doing it where you have two surfaces you're painting on. When I do ceramics, sometimes I'll do two different things, as long as they're kind of similar and we can use the same kind of instructions. But it does get a little hairy when you're trying to teach two things. I definitely use a helper if I'm trying to teach two things. I like to have a helper anyway. It just makes my night more pleasant. But the painter's choice option is something that I think is really helpful. So I just had a little recap here. You know, can post often, be consistent, give yourself enough of a runway, that 4-week runway before the event you want to start advertising. And then once you have emails, you'll get those repeat customers, and that's awesome. One other thing before I go, if anybody has any questions, make sure you ask, or if you're watching the replay, make sure that you ask your questions in the comments. During the event, I will do what I call a Facebook door prize. So basically, people need to post about the night while they're there. So take pictures of the project, take pictures of what they're doing, post about the night, tag the creative space, tag the venue, and whoever has the most likes at the end of the night will win the prize. And it's a bigger prize. Sometimes I can get a gift certificate from the restaurant. Sometimes I buy people a bottle of wine if we're at a winery that I go to. Sometimes it's a 50% off ticket to one of my events, to a future event. I just decide what it is that night if I'm going to do that. But that helps because it puts your name anyway and what you're doing in front of people you don't know. Like, it's the people that your guest knows, not who you know, but now they know your name and they might follow you or watch you or whatever. So that is what I have to say about that. If anyone has any questions or things they want to share, please feel free to share it in the comments. Next week, I'm actually not going to be doing my talk like this because I am going to be teaching this cute design. It's a really sweet heart design, and I'm going to teach you how you can put a message in there. This is going to be in a private group though, so if you want to, it's free, it's totally free, but if you want to come to this event, and the replay will also be available in the private group, so if you can't be there for the actual live, you can watch the replay, but it's not going to be on my main page. It's going to be in the private group, but it's free to join it. All you have to do is go to my website and sign up, and then you'll be in the group. And next Wednesday, so on Valentine's Day at 1 o'clock, I'm going to be teaching how to paint this, and then the replay will be available in that private group forever. I'm not going to delete it, so you can join it and we'll go back and watch it whenever you want. And it's free to join the party. It's just I wanted to kind of control the group, so I put it in a private group. All right, So thanks for watching. Thanks for new people who joined my membership and new people who are watching today. I hope this was helpful. Please put in the comments if some of this was helpful information. And I look forward to painting with you on Valentine's Day. All right, have a great day.